Hello, everybody. It's been a long time coming, that's for sure, since I've made one of these. It's been since maybe February, late February, since I've done an interview with somebody or done a live video. I've had some time off uh, from making videos, so I figured, it's been a long time coming, so I wanted to hop on here. I've recently reached out to Sean Clark, and we had an interview set up uh, about a month or so back, and we were kind of back and forth, couldn't figure out how we were gonna. We just kept running into roadblocks. Basically, I was busy, he was busy. Uh, Mostly just decided, hey, we'll push it back. We'll eventually get to it, and so we're here today. Hopefully he'll join in here shortly. In the meantime, I want to do a little bit of a not really like just some things I picked up recently that I posted about, and I really would like to share with whoever's going to join on here. I got some comic books that I picked up at a local mom and pop shop that I'm really excited to share with you guys. So the one I was initially after, it was really cool because I read about it in Horror Hound, and I didn't realize that it just became a. They just launched a comic line for it. Apparently, recently, I don't know if it's true, but Marvel, for some reason, apparently Disney acquired the rights to Alien and Predator as well. But I didn't realize it was Alien as well, and they started a comic line. So I got Alien #1 from Marvel, and this is a variant cover. There's several other different covers that come with this, or from this line. Of course, there's always variant covers when it comes to comic books, no matter what issue it is. If it's issue 5, if it's issue 25, there's always going to be a variant cover of this. So there's Alien #1. Very cool. It already came. What was cool about this place is they already have it in the plastic with the cardboard behind it and everything, so it's very nice. Keeps it very, in condition like you want your comic books. So yeah, Alien #1, very nice. I read this. Not much Alien action yet, but it'll start. I'm sure issue 2 and on will start to pick up. So issue #1 of Alien. And there's Mr. Sean Clark now, actually. So I will go ahead and add him in here. Sorry, guys, but I'll probably go ahead and share him as well once he joins in here, if he's interested. There he is.
Hello.
How's it going, Mr. Clark? Mr. Sean Clark.
I'm dandy. How are you? I was worrying if this was going to happen or not because I wasn't getting any messages from you, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Are we doing this?
Is he backing out again? No, I was trying to straighten up the house a little bit. We had groceries to do, or to put away, so that was fun.
Well, priorities, man. Obviously, if you got to do groceries, show or groceries, and
Right.
I guess.
She's like, "Oh crap, it's 5 o'clock, isn't it?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's 5 o'clock. You need to hurry up and get home." So I started off my live. I was just kind of going over a couple comic books I just picked up recently. I don't know if you saw. I picked up.
I didn't see anything. I literally just saw that you were on and hit the request thing, and
Gotcha.
here we are.
Cool. So I started off the live. I was like, he's not on here yet. I'll just, share a couple, comic books I picked up recently. Alien. I got Alien #1 from Marvel. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't realize Disney had acquired rights to Alien. Apparently, I don't know if that's
news to me.
I know they did to Predator.
I'm gonna shut that right there. So, let me a second.
Okay, no problem. I have terrible lighting myself.
Ain't that? Oh no, that didn't help. There we go.
It's the shades. Honestly, I could probably open up my shade and probably give me more light, but I like it a little dim in here. As the video goes along, it'll probably get dimmer because, well, I don't know. Time change kind of messed things up.
I think this will work. There we go.
Looks good. I can see
There
it.
we go.
That's
I
good.
got the goat right there. So anyway.
There, great background. So my next comic I picked up. It's the 30th anniversary for Deadpool.
Hmm.
So they had a Deadpool anniversary comic. It's like a big, terrible glare because there's a window right next to me, but it's a
Hmm.
collection of many stories pertaining to Wade's birthday, basically, just a collection of birthday stories for his 30th anniversary, which I was like, I have to have that because it's Deadpool, of course. Um, this next one here, I guess it's a new Joker line. Of course, it's the Joker. I was like, I wasn't a huge fan of. He looks kind of childish,
Mm.
like not as sinister. But
Well, I'll have you know I know nothing about comics. So
oh, okay. Well, I'm like, I don't know if he's a comic guy but
not at all.
not at all. Well, no biggie, because I just wanted to. I made a post about these the other day, so I was like, I'm going to share these with the guys watching the videos if they don't mind. Another cool one. Did you watch the Snack Zyder or Zach? Can't talk. Zach
Snack Schneider, yeah. I love
Justice League.
snacking with Schneider from One Day at a Time.
Yeah,
Those were good days.
I haven't. I have not watched his Justice League yet, but I've got this comic here. It was like a variant. I got it for free actually, which
Hmm.
I thought was kind of cool. I figured that'd be a nice little collector's thing to have. It's like a $6 comic I got for free just because I had a purchase.
Yeah.
So
No, I haven't watched Justice League. I'm not really much of a superhero guy either.
mm. I've been like I kind of go in spouts. Like some days, like man, I really want to watch a Marvel movie or a DC. I've been in a DC mood lately for whatever reasons. I've been watching Batman and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
but anyway, the real reason we're here is to talk. It's been a long time coming. This interview, like,
How's
in
it?
we've been, I was busy, you were busy, we both been busy. Obviously, you're a crap ton more busy than I am because with um, all your endeavors.
And you're grocery shopping. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's busy times. But yeah, let's. So if you got whoever's watching who doesn't know who this is Sean Clark. He's a little bit of a jack of all trades when it comes to uh, horror, mostly, basically. Like as I was talking about in my post, he runs a segment called Horror's Hallowed Grounds, where he goes to these classic horror movie locations, and he does, he basically shows you around and shows you, where they shot these films, like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street. The most recent one was I know you did a bill
Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone. Yes, that's right. Because I know I follow you on YouTube as well. So every time you post one, it's like, oh, I gotta watch that. That's on my to watch list.
Hmm.
So
Good stuff.
he does
Good
that,
stuff.
and I absolutely love watching that just because it's so fun to especially the Halloweens, like the whole franchise, the Halloween, going to all of the locations, seeing where they were all filmed, and especially Halloween 3, Season of the Witch,
Hmm.
and where he meets a very colorful character at one of the trailer parks.
Well, it was actually at the Rosa Shannon Motel, which
That
is now apartments. But yeah, yeah.
that guy was a
But
colorful.
he belonged in a trailer park for sure. That dude.
He was the definition of trailer park.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, so he runs Horror's Hallowed Grounds. He does a podcast with Christopher Nelson, who he makes masks. He does a little bit of everything with that, with effects, makeup, and stuff like that. It's initially a podcast for them to kind of go off each other, kind of just talk about what's going on. They do interviews as well on there. They just did one recently with I can't say her name, Andy.
Oh, Andy Matichek.
Yes,
Yeah.
from Halloween and Halloween Kills.
We just interviewed Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton on Sunday. Sunday. I'm actually editing that episode right this moment, like looking at the screen. I was editing when I jumped on to do this.
Gotcha.
So
So look out for that when he's done editing that, because that'll be cool, I'm sure.
yeah, and if you're a Halloween fan, there's some cool stories to hear what happened to their Halloween Returns, which was supposed to happen, and then things changed.
Yeah. Um, so thing with two heads. He also he is a um, what I forget how you described it. You're a celebrity.
I would say that a amateur pie maker is what
You're great at mac and cheese.
that is true. It is
I
true.
I watched that video. It instantly made me want to go get some of the Cheetos mac and
I
cheese.
still have a few boxes. That's good stuff.
It,
Yeah, I guess a personal appearance agent is what.
that's okay.
Yeah,
Personal appearance agents. That is. Would it be considered? That's a company. Would it be a company
yeah.
convention?
Company's
Or,
convention Allstars. Yeah,
okay. So yeah, he. So if you've seen, if you've been to a convention, you've probably seen Sean, or people that he's in charge of when it comes to appearances, like Norman Reedus has a big one, from Nick Castle, of course. Pretty much anybody from any of the Halloween films, if they're there, he's probably the guy who's in charge of them, or like not necessarily the wording, I guess.
did I disappear for a second?
Just for a second, you stopped for.
Okay.
It's kind of buffering.
Oh, sorry. I got a text message and I was trying to swipe it away and it actually
Gotcha.
it opened it. Oh, hello, Mickey Myers. Thanks for saying I'm a fucking top bloke. I like that.
Definitely.
Oh, Twitch the Horror Kid. I'm looking at a few people on here. Reading a few of these. Sean and Met You, Mad Monster with Matthew Lillard. You're such a cool dude. Thanks. And and my girl from who I met at the Monroeville Mall, the huge Flannery fan. How you doing? Good to see you on there. And Mickey Myers is giving me lots of love. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Which you deserve plenty of, for sure.
And is that IE Tommy 15? Glad you liked the videos. Yeah, I don't know what the hell were we just talking about. Sorry, I started reading these things.
We were talking about convention all stars and what you.
Oh yeah,
Where
hadn't been too many conventions lately,
not
but
really.
but we're doing a lot of private signings and stuff. I spent a whole day yesterday. I spent a few hours at Nick Castle's house doing some signings with him. When I say signings, it's usually autograph dealers who come to town and they want stuff signed that they then sell online. We don't sell them online. They pay the autograph fee to get the thing signed, then they sell them online.
I know.
And then I did one with Keith David yesterday from The Thing and They Live, and Nev Campbell as well. So I had a full day yesterday. So
I'm really like, for instance, like you were talking about outside, like people coming in, like CPA Authentics. I know they're a big one.
Yeah, did a big signing with CPA on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday we did. It was a part 5, Friday 13th. We did Dick Weand, Johnny Hawk, and Tom Morga all on the same day.
Oh wow!
And so that happened on Saturday. Yeah, but been a lot of that going on lately. Been busy with that kind of, because there's really hadn't been any conventions, but now things are starting to open up. But I don't know, man. I got a feeling after spring break, you're going to see another spike and everything's going to back up again. We're going to take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I don't want to be a pessimist, but I am.
I mean, it's kind of hard to, it's kind of hard to tell, really. Like, like, especially depending on like where you live, for sure. Because I mean, you're out of California, so I mean, that's the population is humongous.
So, yeah, we're going to be the very last ones to fully open. That's for sure.
I believe that.
I was looking around. I was looking online today about the vaccines. To try to set up getting a shot. To get it. Mm-hmm. And in California, they're still on people over 60. But then I clicked on different states all over the U.S. and most of them are already allowing anybody over 16.
Yeah, I know.
So it's like, that's how far behind we are because of the population.
Yeah, I know Ohio just opened that up the other day. I was talking to Nathan from Horror Hound, and he's really wanting to jump on getting the vaccine, and he said, like, because they started, it was like 50 and older, and then out of nowhere it was 16 16 and up. Like it was a huge jump of like people. I don't know if like they got like a huge shipment of it or what happened there.
Well, it's just less population. I mean, we're just so overpopulated in California.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, it's ridiculous. If you compare our population to any other state, I mean, look, Texas is way bigger than California, but probably has, I don't know, 25% of the population of California. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, always like seeing like populations. I'm like, how is that possible? And they're like, you just don't get it because I mean, yeah, Texas is huge, but it's mostly like land.
Um, I see a couple questions here.
Got some questions for you.
Nightmare 2 ain't happening anytime soon.
Poor
Let's see.
Robert.
Best way to get a Nick Castle autograph. Uh, Convention Allstars website, we have a store and we do sell some people's signed stuff on there, and Nick is one of them. So you go to the conventionallstars.com, go to the store section, and you can get signed masks, signed pictures, mini posters. I think there's a variety of Nick items in there. Maybe even some knives. I don't know if we have knives. I can't remember, but the you can get them there.
Very cool. So I'm going to start asking questions.
Go for it.
So obviously you've done quite a lot when it comes to the horror stuff. Let's jump back to Horror's Hallowed Ground. So that started early 2000s. You started doing those, or was it?
Well, it officially started like in 1996, but it wasn't called that yet. But the first real Horrors Hallowed Grounds was an online article, I think on dreadcentral.com or thehorrorchannel.com. It started as an online article. And then the first video episode, not counting the amateur crap I had done prior, the first official video episode, I think, was 2005.
Gotcha. Because I think what was the first episode was Halloween, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Official.
Yeah.
So jumping back to 96, so what made you start wanting to go out to these locations and start just, filming and doing all the, just going around all these locations and filming, where did that all begin?
Well, if you watch, actually, my latest episode, I forgot, my latest episode's Gone of the Dead. And that is actually where I talk about where it all started, was 1993 Monroeville Mall, when me and my friends went for the Zombie Jamboree, which was the 25th anniversary of Night of the Living Dead, and they had it at a convention center across the street from the mall. And when we went into that mall, we were all losing our shit, and it was just, it was that I think that weekend is what really gave me the bug. When we were walking around in there, you just kind of felt like you were in the film, and it was just such a cool thing that when I got back home, I started thinking, wow, could I find other places? And I didn't really go out and do it right away. But when I was reading this article in Fangoria magazine, a retrospective on Halloween, and John Carpenter mentioned a few street names and a couple cities, mind you, this is pre-internet. I pulled out some map books and started looking them up and trying to find out where they were. And my friend Darren and I drove out to South Pasadena and started finding stuff. And that's really where it started. You couldn't just Google it, like you can now,
Like back then, it's just like you had to literally go find it yourself. Like
yeah.
you said.
Every Halloween location video I see pop up on YouTube, I'm like, you're welcome. Because we found that shit first. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's on my bucket list. Like I would love to go out to
Ooh.
South Pasadena, see all the locations for Halloween. Yeah. I mean, I've seen most of the Horror's Hallowed Grounds, and it's just like that one alone. Of course, Halloween means a lot to me, so therefore, just to see all the houses, just even the streets, the scenery, and everything. It'd just be
Mhm.
really cool to just go and see that.
Yeah, somebody let me answer a couple of these here. Favorite actor to play Michael Myers? Come on, Nick
Eh,
Cage. Do you think there'll be a Halloween 45 Years of Terror? Probably, but it's not being worked on to my knowledge at all. But it always ends up happening at the last minute. Can you do a Horrors Hallowed Grounds on Killer Clowns? Yes, I'm already working on it. Twitch. I'm doing that one and Lost Boys at the same time since they were both shot in Santa Cruz area. So I'm working on those as we speak.
Very cool. You said Lost Boys. You said.
Lost Boys. That one's a long time coming. I actually started that episode in 2007, maybe. Uh, I can't remember if it was 2007 or 8. I don't remember what year Corey Haim passed away, but Corey and I had talked about it, and he was going to be in the episode. He was going to go with me to Santa Cruz and go to the locations with me
Oh wow.
because I worked with him. He was a client and a friend, and I actually started filming it. We went and we shot at the caves, not with him, unfortunately. I wish we had shot with him, but I
Yeah.
went because I knew the caves are in LA County, so I went and did the caves, and I was going to do the bridge, which is also in LA County, and then I was going to go up to Santa Cruz, which is like 5 hours away, and with him and do that there, and he passed away, and so I kind of lost my motivation,
Yeah.
but now yeah, I think it's time. And a couple people have done it, have done, yeah, but nobody's done it a complete version. I'm going to do a complete version. The big location nobody's ever found is Max's house,
Oh wow.
and I found it. So, or at least I found where it was. The house is no longer there, but I found the location, which is was quite a feat. With help, I had some help of a friend, but
Yeah,
anyway,
at least I mean you found it. Found the location at least. I mean,
yeah,
even if the house isn't there anymore,
yeah.
but that's still. I mean, the satisfaction alone of knowing, hey, this is where it was. You know, it's definitely really cool. Um, Somebody asked you what's your least favorite Halloween.
Well, you got to watch. We ranked them on Thing with Two Heads. You need to watch the ranking episode, and you'll hear what my least favorite is. I mean, I'll just tell you, it was Rob's Halloween 2 was my least favorite. It
Yeah,
was really a toss up between that one and Resurrection, but I gave Resurrection a little bit of a pass. Uh, uh, I just, yeah, Halloween, Rob's Halloween 2,
yeah,
it has too many issues for me.
I agreed. I mean, like Resurrection, at least there was an interesting concept to it, so to
It's
speak.
bad. No, it's bad. There's no two ways about it. They're both
There's
terrible. But I at least there's some cheesiness about Resurrection that I can at least watch and get a chuckle. Where I watch Rob's Halloween 2 and
just nah.
I just go, man, what, I don't know. I love the opening though. I think the opening, the whole hospital scene is great, and I was like, okay, I'm in. This is awesome. And then they
Boom.
pull the "it's all a dream" bullshit, and that really right there. Yeah.
Done. So,
So who's I don't know Dead Meat James. Twitch keeps asking me. Don't know who that is.
Dead Meat James. I don't
Don't know
know.
who that is.
That's a cool name.
You had a problem with Buster Rhymes karate kicking Michael Myers? Come on. See, that's some of the cheese I'm talking about. That's at least entertainingly bad.
Yeah, I'll give him that. I guess it rubs you the wrong way too.
Yeah.
So, locations wise, so I
Mhm.
was thinking of questions about like horror solid grounds and thinking like, you went to a lot of locations. What was the hardest location, not necessarily to find, but like to get into without like getting into trouble?
the Danvers from Session 9 by far was the hardest location to get into and the riskiest. They had 24-hour security that drive around the property, and it's all boarded up, and that was a real challenge. Did it twice,
Oh wow.
two different times, and it was exhilarating every time. But that was probably the toughest. Yeah, that one. Uh, Getting into the school from Nightmare on Elm Street was not easy, and we just had a real stroke of luck. And that's a story I'm going to tell. I'm going to record an audio commentary. I'm going to do audio commentaries for every episode and
Cool.
kind of tell the behind the scenes stories. And I think I'm going to make those. I haven't decided yet, but I've been dabbling with the Patreon idea and maybe making that exclusive content with the commentaries and stuff. And there's a really cool story that goes along with that Elm Street uh, school interior, which is a different location from the exterior.
Yeah.
And we really just got insanely lucky that a big mistake was made by someone that worked in our benefit. So, and otherwise, that school is near impossible to get into. They are hardcore about not, schools in general are hard to get into these days, especially indoor schools.
Yeah.
I just finished a Fast Times at Ridgemont High episode, which is going to go up any day now.
I think I remember seeing you talk about that.
Yeah, and it's been done for over a month. I've been dealing with a copyright thing that I've been fighting, which expires in a couple days.
Wonderful.
And here's the irony, the ironic part. The copyright infringement I'm fighting is the rights to my own band's music.
Wow.
The use of my own band's music, because our guitar player had registered it with some streaming service, so they flagged it, and I'm fighting with them like, dude, I'm in the band, I have permission, I know who registered. This is who registered it. He's given me the okay. He's trying to reach you. He's been emailing you. Nobody's responding to him.
Wow.
And then they declined me, and then I had to appeal it. So it's been tied up for over a month. So that's a whole nother story. But what I was saying with the Fast Times is getting into that school. It's an indoor school where the hallways are in the classrooms, and it's been all shut down for COVID. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't able to get in there. I've been in there, and I took photos, and I used some of those photos in the episode, and I also filmed through the windows, and you can see the hallways and stuff, but it's not the same as walking through there and being able to show everything off. But I'll tell you what, that episode was a beast, because there's a lot of locations in that movie. I mean, a lot. And it took a long time to do. It's probably going to be, well, the Dawn of the Dead episode was my longest episode ever, but this will probably be the second longest.
I said Dawn of the Dead, like what, 45 minutes roughly, maybe a little.
Yeah, I think this one's 30 minutes, 31 minutes.
What did it say? Because I haven't watched that one yet, but I know the title for it. Was it like Then and Now?
Yeah, I just kind of put that in the description because a lot of people search film things. Then and Now seems to be a popular tag. So I've been trying to add that just to drive more traffic.
Okay. I get you now. Like, kind of like to get more people to see it.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
as it was filmed to
Well,
now.
I use a lot of footage from 1993. So, and that's what I think makes that episode kind of unique, is there's all this vintage footage of when the mall still looked like it did in Dawn of the Dead. Yeah. And you kind of get to see me and my friends acting immature and getting incredibly stoked as we walk around every corner. You get to watch me slide down the escalator, us playing with the elevator and getting yelled at from the JCPenney's employees. It's great. Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff in there.
I'll have to watch that one today, because I was going through some videos, just kind of just catching up on some videos that I haven't watched yet. Like I don't think I've watched a full episode of The Thing with Two Heads, just because it's so I mean, those things are like 2 hours long.
What's wrong with you, bro?
I have a lot of things wrong.
Dude, I'm serious. You haven't even watched a full episode? Come on, man.
I've watched most
Disappointing.
of it. Sometimes I fast forward to like, where there's an interview. Like I was watching the one with Andy Matichak today,
Hmm.
and that's funny because my daughter, she's like 2.5, so she was just kind of like sitting there watching. Like I'm like, Daddy's gonna be talking to that guy in about a half an hour. And she just thought it was really cool. The guy with the spiky hair, not the guy with the hat. Like spiky hair. I'm like, yes. She thought it was
My
cool.
hair's not spiky. It just naturally goes that way.
I wish I had that because I have. So let's see here. I still have it. Do I have anything else to cover in horror's hallowed grounds? Because I still have.
Somebody's asking what my favorite location to find was.
That is a good
Um,
question. Probably the recent one you were just talking about,
which one?
the Max's house from, or you said that was the
Oh
farm.
well, yeah, I mean that was well. It depends on what you say when you say favorite. I mean, I'm excited that we found it. I was disappointed that it wasn't there. It's kind of like when I found Bill's house from Bill and Ted's finally after I'd already done the episode. It was just good to know the mystery had been solved as to where that house was, but it's always a disappointment when you find something and realize it no longer exists. It's been torn down. There's my friend Pure Horror. How you doing, girl? Hope things good over there in the UK.
She was
Um,
great.
let's see. But favorite location I found. Um, you know, I, I think when I first found the Myers house, that was pretty fucking exciting because we didn't know it had been moved, and we drove around the corner and we saw the hardware store, and then we just looked over and immediately recognized the Myers house, but we were confused as to why it was where it was because it's not, you even if you didn't know it was moved, you can tell something's wrong. Like, wait, this is not where it should be. Um, but that was probably the most exciting because nobody knew where it was. I mean, I'm sure there were people that knew, but pre-internet, we had no clue where it was, and finding that was really
A
a,
treat.
it really kind of helped me realize I could just go out on my own and find these things, like
Yeah.
because I didn't know if we were going to drive around on all day and find nothing, you know. And that day we found the hardware store, the Myers house. I don't know if we found anything else that day, which is funny because so much stuff is so right there. If you know the area now, it's all right there. And it's crazy. I mean, I've walked by houses 100 times and never realized what. Like, I didn't know until just recently. If you're looking down the alley, um, in Halloween 2, right
Mm-hmm.
where the cop car is, and Loomis runs up and yells, um, I shot him 6 times, blah blah blah, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Literally right there behind them is Molly Ringwald's house from Pretty in Pink.
Oh
They're
wow.
they're literally parked right in front of it, and I had no idea that was that. I've walked by that house for years, and it wasn't until a couple of years ago that I realized that the Pretty in Pink house is right there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was just like, holy shit.
Like it's cool because like I live in Indiana, so we don't have a whole lot of location stuff out here. But like a lot of independent films are filmed kind of in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So like the film called oh it's by man, I can't even think of the name now. I think it was called oh Found, like
Okay.
Found period.
Uh-huh.
The indie horror flick. It was filmed in like Bloomington, Indiana, like Columbus, which is like literally a half hour from where I live. And like I
Mm-hmm.
was watching a scene where they're driving down in the like downtown area. I'm like, holy crap, I know where that is. Like we drive there all the time because we go there to go like to Target and stuff like that. And it's cool to see that kind of stuff, but it's like, it's like still like to see something crazy big like, the Halloween locations or even Reanimator when you did recently, that would be cool.
Yeah.
So,
Um, yeah, my first experience with any of this, I guess the first time it ever happened to me, I was 9 years old, and I was at the drive-in with my parents seeing a movie called The Van. And I actually did a little video, uh, sort of a mini location video. It's on my YouTube, and I talked about this. I went to this drive-in to see this. We're seeing this cheesy '70s movie called The Van, and there's a scene where they pull up at this pizza place, and they go inside this pizza place. A lot of action happens in this pizza place. There's like at least 3 or 4 scenes in the movie that take place at this pizza place. And it was called Peppa's Pizza, and it was literally right next to my elementary school. It was right next to it, and I used to go there all the time after school and play video games. And I remember watching this movie on this big screen in the drive-in, little kid, and I'm like, pointing at the screen. It's that's Peppa's Pizza. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that a place that I went to was in a movie. And I couldn't really understand how that worked. But it was a trip.
blow your mind, like, holy crap, I used to go there all the time, and that's in a movie. Like,
Yeah, and the cool thing about it is I have this cool time capsule of it in a film because they tore it down. That place got torn down in probably 1984,
wow.
So it's long gone. And it was a freestanding restaurant. I mean, it was this really cool that they had it was like the old-timey theme, like ye old public house sort of vibe. They had like a organ player, and everything was wood. It was a cool place.
It sounds really cool. I was
Yeah.
like, because we got a couple places like that. There's a place out here called Noble Romans
Mm-hmm.
Pizza, and they're kind of like, it just seems like a very like vintage kind of pizza place. Of course, I think the one that I'm talking about now, they closed it, but there was two of them. So luckily, there's still one on the other side of the where the other one was. But
Mm-hmm.
that's where all the it's very I don't even know how to describe it now, but it's very Italian looking, I should say, but like
Mm-hmm.
art style though. It's really cool. Fright Night filmed in the same location as Deadly Friend.
No, I don't know. Someone else has said, have you visited locations Tom Holland's Fright Night? All of Tom Holland's Fright Night was filmed on backlot they were all sets. It was all like fake neighborhoods. It was all, I think it was shot all at Warner. It was either Warner or Universal. I think it was Warner. But yeah, the almost the entire movie is studio backlot, so I can't really do that. I don't know about Deadly Friend. I'm not a big enough fan. I'd have to look at it and double check it. I've never really paid attention to the locations in that movie. But if you recognize something, which is highly probable, it was probably the same studio. Um, I'm looking at a few of these here. Have I done Last Starfighter? No. I've thought about it actually, but the people that own the property where the trailer park was are super anti-fan, so I'd have to go sweet talk them, and I have an idea how to do that. But any plans for another Halloween convention? No plans, but
It's about
who knows? Do you like Puppet Master? Not too much. I like the dolls. The movies aren't that good.
How was the van worth watching?
Uh, somebody asked that, or
Yeah,
you asking? Um,
they asked.
I love the van, but that's a nostalgia thing. So, but I mean, it's literally about a high school kid who gets a badass custom van to get laid, and gets laid. And he works at a car wash, and his boss is Danny DeVito. So it's just a stupid 70s TNA
Yeah.
movie. I mean, it's got a great theme song, and George Barris created the van. If you know who George Barris is, he was a famous car designer. He did every famous car you can think of from back in the day. He designed, from the Dragula to the Munsters coach to the Monkey Mobile. All those famous cars he designed, and he designed that van. So
Very cool. So I'm going to jump topics here. I want to jump into Convention Allstars. So when did you initially start, that business, that, endeavor, I should say?
officially started in 2005, but I started unofficially in like 2003.
Cool. So who was your first like client you ever hired?
Tony Moran was,
Oh,
was technically my first client. Yeah.
ah, that's a great. Want to talk a little bit about that?
Not really.
No,
No.
nobody likes Tom. No, nobody likes Tony Moran.
Somebody does out there somewhere.
It's just, of course, I met him, but that was before, I was a little younger still, so I didn't really know a lot about him and who he was and how he was. But then people started telling me things. I'm like, oh, so he's that kind of guy. Well,
I will say this. I was good friends with him. When I was friends with him, I really liked him. What I've seen him become since then, I don't care for at all. But, um, what can you do? I don't want to badmouth the guy. I mean, it's
yeah,
he clearly has issues with me, but I don't really think about the guy unless I'm asked about him or something. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
it is what it is.
I mean,
I mean, you don't really need to when you're working with Nick Castle. Oh,
there's,
boom! Yeah, I just did that.
yeah.
Anyway,
It's okay. You had that right.
yeah.
It's like the only thing, really, the only problem I have with him is just that, I get it. He's the face.
And he should be proud of it. That's
And
a
that's
thing.
cool. Yeah.
That's a big deal.
But the fact that, he makes it seem like he's Michael, like, no, like I get it. He was the face. He was there for a split 5 seconds, but then
Technically 8.
oh,
I've timed it.
oh, I didn't. So, but 8 seconds. I knew it wasn't very long, but I mean, still, it just the way he sees it, like he is Michael Myers, and I don't like that. It's like there were 8. There
Well,
were
no, you know what? He is. He is. Hey, Chris Nelson's on here. Hey,
oh
Chris. So everything I said about Chris, I take back.
okay.
I don't know when he joined. Oh no. Okay. Chris is a very dear, close friend. Love this. I love you, Chris. But I take nothing away from Tony. Tony was the face of Michael Myers. He deserves that praise, but just own what you did. It's all good, man. I mean, there's whatever. He's embellished quite a bit apparently, and I heard him embellish as well back in the day, and it's I think love you too, Poop.
Chris said.
I just think that it's nowadays with technology and all the information at your fingertips, you might as well come clean a little bit with and I think, and if anybody saw the interview I posted with Tony, I posted an interview with me and I did his very first interview ever, and I also did his first on-camera interview ever. I posted it on my YouTube page, and it's him talking about being in Halloween before the embellishing really began. And you get to hear really what he remembered and what he thought of it. Because you hear him ask those same questions today, and it's a whole nother story. And a lot of it has to do with what he's learned over the years from fans. And he takes little bits of that and puts it into his backstory. And, you know, quite clearly, if you watch my interview, he didn't think much of having been in the movie and didn't have hardly any memories, and straight up admits he was there one day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but again, I do not discount that one day. It is extremely significant. He is the face of Michael. It's a huge deal. You know, it's all good, you know. But let's move on from that, because that's a tired subject.
Yeah. Let's see here. So Chris is, I don't know if he's still here, but
He's here. He stalks me.
he loves you.
He's got spyware on my phone. Dude's always watching. Always watching.
Let's talk with the thing with two heads for a bit. So you guys started that last year?
Yeah, and it's going to be the thing with one head very soon, because I'm leaving. Oh, wait, is I not supposed to talk about that? Like, no. No, we started it. God, I don't know. You know, that's a good question. We should really look into when the very first episode came on.
Or even
I need to look that up, because we may have an anniversary coming up. I got to buy him, like, chocolates and stuff, you know. You know how that is.
Oh, yeah. Anniversaries. No matter what they are.
I'm telling you, man. Let's see. I'm looking to see when the first episode officially went up. Episode 1, it says 8 months ago, so we don't have an anniversary yet. So eight months ago, the first episode went up.
I feel like it's been like at least a year.
July 17th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Drew saw it just as I saw it as well. July 17th is Thing with Two Heads Day, apparently. I have to put that in my calendar. I'm going to write my old school calendar.
There you go. Everybody needs a calendar.
Oh, dude, I like the old school ones. I like to, like, physically hold it and look at it and write shit down.
Yeah, because, I mean, you know, you've got a calendar on your phone, but you're not always going to, like, look at it.
I don't like to type. That's too much work.
I know how we message back and forth. I'm like, he's not a typer.
No. Oh yeah. People say that, like, you have to understand this. I've got Twitter, Instagram, like 4 Facebook pages I run, then emails. I get so many messages a day. And, you know, some people would be like, "Hey man, how's your day going?" And I'll just reply, "Good." You know, and then sometimes they'll come back with, "You don't like to talk much, do you?" It's like,
dude, I'm busy.
Like, A, I don't know you really. Yeah. B, I did answer you. You know, I mean, what do you want from me? I'm sorry if I'm a little busy and I can't, like, go, "Good. Today I got up, had myself a bowl of cereal. Then I went outside. Gee, it's a sunny day. The warm sun hit my skin, felt great." You know, I don't. You know, come on, really? Yeah.
Like, I don't even do that.
Get off my lawn. That's all I have to say.
Lawn.
Yeah.
My mobile lawn.
Yeah. Get off my virtual lawn. So.
Yeah, I definitely understand. It's like sometimes, like when I was messaging you, I'm like, yeah, if he doesn't reply, or, you know, I understand how busy you are. I mean, you got so much stuff that you do. Like, and then, you know, some people don't realize how much you do, and I think that's where you get those guys that are like, "Oh, he's not replying. He's not gonna," you know.
Yeah.
It's like when me, like, I understand. It's like, hey, this guy runs, you know, 2 different companies, or, well,
you don't see me out there at the soup kitchens giving out food to the homeless. You don't see me out there building homes for the homeless. You don't see me out there doing that.
No.
So, you know, just saying.
We see you.
Have I seen The Collector or The Collection? Yes. You need to watch the latest episode. That'll be up probably by Friday, Saturday probably. Depends. It's a lot of editing, but Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton are on the show, and we talk extensively about The Collector, The Collection, and The Collected. Actually got a big scoop on The Collected, so get ready for some scoopage.
That's such a fun word to say. Scoopage.
Some full-on scoopage. I like to go to the 31 flavors and get some scoopage as well. Just so you know.
I unfortunately don't have one of those around me.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't really go to 31 flavors either. There's a really good homemade like ice cream place called Handel's. It's like a franchise that's kind of growing. That place blows away Baskin Robbins.
Oh yeah, I mean Baskin
But
Robbins. The only thing that's really good, like if you like the only thing I get there, mint chocolate chip shake.
well,
That's
you
about.
can't really go wrong. It's not like they have bad ice cream.
Oh
I'm
no,
just saying this other place is a little bit better.
yeah, like Dairy
I mean,
Queen.
I'll eat shitty ice cream.
Ice cream is ice cream. It don't matter.
Yeah, I like ice cream, period.
Then next time you come to Cincinnati, hopefully September, you need to try out Graders if you haven't.
What is it called?
It's called Graders ice cream.
I wonder if Nathan took me there. He knows I'm a big ice cream guy. I can't remember if he
I
took me there.
imagine you probably did because I mean they're the ice cream of Scott like like Skyline Chili's the big thing in Cincinnati.
Which is terrible.
And I'm not
Skyline, that anybody, I'm sorry, that's not chili. That's fucking spaghetti with like meat sauce, like a runny meat. It's not chili.
it's Coney sauce.
Well, I don't know what it is, but it's awful. He talked that shit up so much, and he took me, and I'm like, what is this crap? I'm like, where's the chili? And he's like, that's it. I'm like, this is spaghetti with some runny sauce on it, some runny brown sauce.
That's Cincinnati style chili.
Yeah, which is not real chili. That's all I got to say. And anybody at Cincinnati can fight me about it.
I'm sure they would.
And we went to that. What was the other one? Blue something, Blue Ash. Is that the other one?
That is a city, but you're probably thinking of Gold Star.
Gold Star is that Gold Star? But there's like three big chains. There's another one. Blue Bell. Somebody said Blue Bell ice cream.
Blue Bell ice cream is that's not Cincinnati based, but I mean it's also good.
Skyline chili, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean I'm not big on chili dogs anyway. Like the first time I had Skyline for the first time like a couple months back, and I was like, I'd never had a chili dog before because I was kind of picky growing up, so I didn't really eat a whole lot of stuff. So now that I'm older, I kind of been trying things that I probably would never have tried when I was younger, and that was one of them. And I was like, I'm sure it's not as good as because even Nathan, I was talking to Nathan about it. He's like, you're just now eating Skyline. I'm like, hey, I don't like a lot of food. And he said, well, truth be told, that's not even close to being the best Cincinnati chili. And so next time you're in Cincy, I'm sure he'll show you other locations.
He don't know. He don't know nothing about chili. Drew is asking if I've ever been to the Motel Hell locations. The only location that really exists is the motel, but it's on it's at Sable Ranch, so it's a movie ranch, so it's a fake. It's a set. But they've used it for years, and it's called their Spanish Villa, I think is what that building's called. But it's been used in a lot of movies. It's still there, but.
Speaking of Motel Hell, that steelbook they released just not too long ago from Shout Factory.
Yeah, right there.
Such awesome artwork.
Like, yeah, I mean that's a cool one.
That and the Pumpkinhead one was because those I think they came out either the same day or like a week apart from each other. And that was pretty cool too. Yeah,
those are nice. Those are nice for sure.
I know Shout Factory's doing pretty good jobs when it comes to but sometimes they release those, and I like to flip the, they come with the slip cover, so that's great because it has their artwork. But then they pull out the actual thing and flip the cover, and it has the original.
Yeah.
A lot of those, like The Thing, or some of the original artworks I don't like as much as the original. But what was I?
You have the choice.
That's nice. You have the choice sometimes, but it sucks though. Like if you get one that doesn't have the slip cover, then you have like oh crap, now you're stuck.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask you. So we were talking about ice cream earlier. I was going to ask what your favorite like flavor.
I'm kind of all over the place. I mean, if I had to have one flavor the rest of my life, I'd probably go with strawberry. But, I mean, I've been on a real coconut pineapple kick lately. Um, but I don't know. I mean, I like basic flavors: vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. You know,
So I'm pretty sure because Graders, like I said, they're locally made, like they're nationally known apparently, but they're made in Cincy. So I was thinking like if you ever went there, like I'd have to hear your opinion of Graders because a lot of people go there. Like I go there and it's like my favorites. They have their signature flavors: black raspberry, chocolate chip. I mean, it is to die for.
I'll give it a shot.
It's granted it's pretty sweet. I mean, it's black raspberries. I mean, they make it with actual.
I don't like raspberry, so I probably wouldn't like that flavor.
Maybe not. It's really cool how they make it too, because most ice cream factories, it's all automated machines and stuff. They actually make this stuff it's like a French pot method.
They have like migrant children, like mix, like they have like a window where you can see them, like,
Kind of
but
like
it's like it's two-way glass with they're looking at a mirror, but you can see them in there and they're crying and they're mixing the bowls and they're getting hit occasionally, because the children's tears can make ice cream taste better. I've heard.
I've heard that. I've heard that
Yeah.
legend.
Yeah, everybody
But
knows.
they make it.
Everybody knows, okay? All right? Okay? Everybody knows it makes the ice cream taste way better. Huge batch. Like to eat it. Me and Mel, all the time. We have a big bowl together. It's good stuff.
Please don't.
Huh? Excuse me. Everybody knows. It's the best. Had to do it. Had to bring it back. We miss him so much. I had to bring it back once in a while.
Joking.
And if you didn't know, that was my impersonation of Matthew Lillard from Scream. Spot on.
Exactly.
So, somebody was asking me if I did a Child's Play, Horror's Hallowed Grounds. I did it in Horror Hound magazine as a written article. I never did a video version. Would I? Yes. However, I will say it was one of the most dangerous neighborhoods I went into and really felt unsafe while doing. It was one of the only times I felt like I might get jumped. I was being kind of this car full of guys were kind of circling and looking at me like we're driving by very uncomfortably slow, and all four of them looking at me like, what are you doing here, white boy? It was a little sketchy. And that was where the house that blew up was. It was in that neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I'd do it, but yeah, I'm not, it's Chicago. It's a little.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if it was Chicago.
Chicago, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it either. Anything in Chicago.
And Halloween or Child's Play 2, I could do that too. I haven't done it. Drew, were you late? We talked about the meth head.
Yeah, we already talked about this guy.
Yeah. Can they go back and rewatch this?
They can. What I'll do is when this is over, I'll post it to my page. And what I'm actually going to do, I have a YouTube channel as well. So what I have to do, unfortunately, it's so annoying because you can't save a live video directly to your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So what I have to do a screen record. So I have to pull up the video on Instagram, and I have to keep it on literally the duration of the whole video, and I have to have it on a screen record. And it takes a while. It's
so sorry for you.
It's extensive, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna I had to figure out how I was gonna save the first one I ever did. I was like, well, not everybody has Instagram that I reach out to, so how am I gonna get this to YouTube? And she's like, well,
Psycho Gorman Horror's Hallowed Grounds. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I
not a fan. He knows that. That's why he is baiting me right there. Is what he's trolling me Classically Deceased. He's trolling me. It was
Trolls.
not. People love that movie, but I haven't been able to get through it.
I
I mean,
haven't. I haven't
I
even.
think I just gotta like really just dumb down myself for an evening and just like really just be ready for something completely stupid that and try to enjoy it that way. I go into movies thinking too much, and that's probably why I didn't like it.
I get that because sometimes I'll do that as well. Like I'll go into a movie and like have a not so much an expectation about it, but just like a different state of mind than I probably should have been when going into the film.
Mm.
Like you know what you mean? Like oh, I'm in the mood to watch this type of film or something like that, and it ends up being completely different than what you expect it to be.
Hmm. I don't hate it. Classically Deceased. I don't hate it. I just didn't think it was all that. I didn't hate the movie. I was just like, this thing is so stupid. I don't understand why everybody's going nuts for it. It's definitely a turn off the brain movie for sure.
I
Prince of
mean,
Darkness locations aren't that sketchy. It looks like a sketchy neighborhood in the movie, but it's kind of in the middle of the city and not a bad area, really.
I just watched that today actually.
Yeah.
The Prince of Darkness locations.
I would do the Scream locations. Um, I would do it. Am I going to? I don't know. But I would do it.
Maybe someday.
Yeah.
So let's see here.
So what?
I pretty much covered most things that I.
Well, alrighty then. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because we covered Horror's Hallowed Grounds
We
extensively.
started to talk about Thing with Two Heads. We really didn't talk about it. We just
Not really. We kind of just talked about how it came about.
we didn't even really talk about how it came about.
No, not
We
really.
just talked about when it came about.
Yeah,
But it just came out of boredom.
yeah. I figured it probably did, but I mean, great things come out of boredom.
This is true.
I mean, and obviously you and Chris are really good friends, so it's great to have that kind of like doing a podcast together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I didn't take any convincing. Like, hey, let's do a podcast together. All right. Is that?
And he courted me for about 3 months.
So
took me to dinner. Sent gifts, and finally I was like, okay.
Mr. Hard to,
Yeah.
Mr. Hard to get here.
But yeah, no, he just asked me one night, just like brought it up casually, like, we should do that. And I was like, yeah. And that's kind of what happened.
I love how casual it is too, just because you guys like the video just starts with you guys just talking. Like you're in the midst of like saying something half the time, and it starts from there.
I always just pull. It's usually I start recording and we talk for usually 15 to 20 minutes before we actually start the episode, and it's usually just us talking shit to each other. We're just bullshitting, and something funny will get said usually, and then we start the episode. And then when I'm going back and I'm editing, I watch our conversation, and if something funny was said that I thought is worth pulling a little clip from, I just use that as our start. It's sometimes it doesn't happen. I don't try to force it, but yeah, it's kind of a cool little format that there was no thought into any of it. I just literally, we recorded an episode and I just started cutting it the way I thought would be fun. And it seems to be working for the few people that watch it. I don't know.
Yeah, because you're on, what is it? You're in the late 20s now, aren't you?
We just recorded episode 29. So
That's
next episode will be the big 3-0.
3-0. I turned 30 this year, so there we go.
Wow. Just a wee lad.
I'm just a wee lad, yes.
I'm 50, dude. Fucking, I'm creeping to the grave, my friend.
When is or was your birthday?
September 30th.
So you will be 50.
I'll be 50. No, I'll be 51 this year.
Oh, okay. So for
I am
reason,
50.
Oh, I must have done. Yeah, I did some wrong math because I remember I was watching. I think it was your 25th anniversary, the 25th anniversary Night of the Living Dead, like documentary thing you did, and you were saying like you were 22 in that video, and I subtracted 22, and I didn't.
Well, it's because it was August 1993, and I
Uh,
turned 23 in September the next month.
that makes
So,
sense. I was like, I wasn't thinking about, you know, what month it was at the time. So you're born in '70 then.
yeah.
So you're the same age as my father-in-law. You could
Well,
be my father.
oh boy, I could be your dad. I mean, I could be.
Really could be. I mean,
Yeah.
I
If
wouldn't
you were better looking, I would think it would be possible. But
definitely
you know,
like it. There's no way you're my dad.
definitely not. That did not come out of my balls. No way.
Where are those?
What's that?
I was like, where all the like comment people asking
Oh,
questions and stuff, like it like disappeared out of nowhere. I was like, I can see your face clearly for the first time.
let's see. I'm looking back here at some of the. Shit, I missed a lot of
You
questions. Hold
definitely
on.
don't look 50. I agree with him.
Thank you. Potential auctions coming up. Thinking about it. Have I been to the Dead Cemetery in Pittsburgh? Yes. You wish you could get a Halloween 2600 Atari from me. Good luck. Uh, any update on fixing my original Kirk? No. It doesn't really need to be fixed, but you know. The order. Can't wait for the T-shirts. Cool. Does Nay know? I don't know what that's in reference to. Half the population comes from boredom. Yes. Getting on the phone. Yes. Okay. Yeah. That hasn't been happened yet. Working on it. Uh,
Chris says I am amazing on our show.
yeah. The new Spiral, the new Saw movie. I'm not too excited for personally. Um,
eh, I'll
it's
watch it. I, you always bringing up balls.
yeah. Speaking of which, man. No, anyway. Um,
Chris has said a couple things.
what? Where did Chris saying some stuff again? Oh,
Down below.
I am amazing on our show.
Yes, Chris, you are.
Chris asked why I'm always bringing up balls. Dude, come on, man. It was just,
What else is there
I
to
don't know.
talk about?
Well, I can talk about balls right now. Uh,
Shoot.
but I won't. Let's,
No, this is a full-on blown conversation now. We have to talk about this.
the Sofa Surfer wants to offer me $2,000 for my Halloween Atari cartridge.
Oh wow.
That's a generous offer. It is
But
a
no,
generous offer. I'm not going to deny that. And if I needed money, I'd be all over that like white on rice. But
I wouldn't. That is a hard piece of merch to find,
it is. It is.
and it's very expensive. How much did you like when you found that? How much was it?
I paid $500 for it. Um. So, and I mean that's expensive for an Atari cartridge.
Yeah,
Um. But knowing how rare it is, especially since it's funny since I got it and I showed it off, the people coming out of the woodwork trying to buy it from me.
oh, I'll give you $15, Chris.
Chris Nelson, big spender, big fucking spender.
What a gracious offer.
It is a gracious offer, and yeah, I don't know. It's just like everything else in my collection, someone else will own it someday.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So, speaking of, because obviously you do a collection video as well when it comes to your collection, and I have to ask, like, what? I guess I'll do specific because that's going to be a hard question. Like, what's your favorite, like, item you own of your collection? I mean, like overall, that'd be a very
My
hard.
collection of
Any
Johnson's and Johnson's baby powder. which is now vintage and discontinued. Um, well, hold on. K. Well Koth said Black Waters of Echoes Pond is a modern masterpiece of horror goodness. Yeah, you are far too generous, my friend, and clearly mentally challenged. It's not that good. I appreciate it. I appreciate that you like it. That's very, very flattering. I'm proud of it, but it's not that good.
I mean,
But there's the goat. There's the goat. The clown from Poltergeist. Yeah, that and Ajax's vest from the Warriors. Those are probably the two big ones.
Or the chainsaws from the Texas Chainsaw 2 and 3.
Yeah, those are in the top 10.
Those are
for
very,
sure.
very cool items. I was like,
those are in the top 10.
Favorite Halloween item?
Baby powder gives you ball cancer. There's been no proof of that. It did give women ovarian cancer. That's true. That's why they pulled it off the shelves. True story. But I don't have to worry about ovarian cancer. Well, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
Favorite Halloween like franchise item? Like, what would be your favorite that you own?
I'm leaving because of ball powder later, dudes.
Whatevs.
I gotta go with Nick Castle script probably.
Ooh.
Just because it's the only original part 1 piece I have, I guess. I do have a couple other things, but that's like the main thing.
Very cool. I think I have a lot of, you can't really see it because I have it up here, but I have like a little bit of a Halloween shelf up here. Like,
I see it.
Got the Living Dead dolls. I got this sucker here. I don't even remember what the company is.
I can't see it well enough to know what it is.
I don't really want to get. I'll get it down. Screw it.
You don't have to. It's okay.
But I got this. It's a really old. Like, I got it at Horror Hound back in like 2015, and a guy was selling it for like $75. I'm like, it has to be rare, because I looked up the figure, what it was called, and I looked at like eBay.
Now I want to know what it is.
Now you want to know. So now
because I'm sitting there trying to figure out which one it is.
I don't think. Hold on. Oh, let's see here. My volume went down on me. There we go. I'm gonna reach up because it's not. I mean, I can get it.
Is this your phone you're filming this on?
Yeah.
Why can't you just pick the phone up and put it towards it?
Because I have. Well, I guess I could. I have a stand. Here. I don't know if.
Just put it toward. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Is it that? Which one is that?
It's I forget the company.
Oh, wait a second. That's basically it's the NECA. It's the NECA version, but it was like the second edition of it.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really. I saw that and I'm like, I have to have that. Like,
that particular version is harder to find, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, because I looked it up on eBay like later on down the road, and like I saw like prices for it. I'm like, holy crap! And I've since had it signed by Nick Castle and Tony Moran at the time. I'd like to get it signed by sorry.
I kid the Tony. I kid.
Anyway. I'd like to get it signed by Jim Winburn at some point. Probably
Tommy Wallace.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Wallace, of course.
Would you have Will Sandon sign it, even though he was young Michael, but he was Michael in that film?
I mean, technically he was Michael, so I mean, yes, maybe.
Yeah.
I would like, I mean, if I could dig Deborah Hill up from the grave and have her sign it, that'd be great. But
yeah, she was the hands of Michael. I don't believe the whole thing that she wore the costume in the scene across the street. I have evidence that proves otherwise, that was not her. I can't really discuss what it is, but photographic evidence that was not her in that scene. I think it's a rumor that some just started and kept going.
Yeah. $27.50 for Halloween. That guy's still after it.
You're up to $27.50. Thank you. I appreciate the offers.
He's at least he's oh, what's the word? Where you're continuing to, at least he's, oh,
Persistent.
persistent. I can't, some days I can't think of words. It's like I didn't
No,
go to college.
no, I'm with you.
My most recent one I'm really excited for that I finally got was this sucker.
Oh, that's a thing of beauty.
It
I'm never in my wildest dreams as a Halloween 3 fan did I ever think anything like that would ever come out.
like I saw like I've been wanting to get one of these for better half of a almost well they released this back in what was it like May or June of last year,
Hmm.
something like that. I know it was
I kept
price.
going to Target because they had them at Target, and every Target I went to, the box was damaged. I was getting pissed. Finally found a clean one.
I found it at a convention I surprisingly went to last year. I went to Days of the Dead in Indianapolis. Uh, Convention that probably shouldn't have happened, but it still did. It was super small. Like it was where Horror Hound used to be.
Hustler calling me.
Wow. Put him on.
Robert, if you're watching, I'll call you back. He's probably not watching.
He's probably not. But Days of the Dead in Indianapolis moved to where Horror Hound used to be over in the Marriott on the
Mm-hmm.
east side where Jamie Lee Curtis was. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, you know what? I want to go just because I love that. Like, not even so much for Days of the Dead, just because I love that. I love that place just because.
I think a lot of people just want it, yeah, because you get a nostalgic attachment to
Really, really
a place,
yeah.
you
Like
know.
the Indianapolis Convention Center is a great place for it now, considering how big it is, but it still doesn't feel quite the same yet. Of course, they've only had it there once because
Yeah.
last year, but this year it's like
Did you go the year before when it was at the other Marriott downtown?
I did not. I know where like that giant like skyscraper. I heard it
Yeah.
was. I heard it didn't like do as well, maybe or.
Oh, dude, it was freaking insanely packed. And as a Kiefer Sutherland was there and stuff, it was
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
But it was just a weird layout because it was like upstairs, downstairs. It was so all over the place layout wise
That's
that
what people were telling me more or less. Not that it did bad, just how the layout was.
yeah, people didn't. It didn't have the vibe that the old building had,
Yeah,
and the convention center doesn't have the vibe that the old building had.
definitely not.
Um, we'll see what happens in the future. Obviously, you got to try different things.
Especially when Horror Hound's only getting bigger. I mean, that building
Yeah,
obviously is far too small for what Horror Hound's grown into
yeah,
today. Like
yeah,
2015 or 2014 when I first started going to Horror Hound. I mean, Horror Hound was still pretty big, but like compared to what it is now, I mean, even after 5, 6 years, I mean, it's grown tremendously.
yeah.
And I'm just glad that because I talked to Nathan about it. I'm like, please tell me you'll never move the Cincy convention to like the Duke Energy Center. He's like
Oh,
he said that'll never happen. Like Sharonville is where it's gonna be and where it's gonna stay. And I'm like,
yeah. That's one of my favorite venues. I love that venue.
that was the first ever I that was the first ever convention I went to was Horror Hound in March of 2014, and like ever since then it's like every March I like go down to that area because I mean I live pretty close to Cincinnati actually. Like I only live maybe roughly an hour away. So it's just like a little drive, and it's like I come up on that little, hump to where like Tri County is, because I know that area because I go there, here and there,
Hmm.
and just like I get close to the exit, I'm like I get this like I get excited because I'm like, oh man, they like because I love the whole like even the look of the convention center just has such a really cool like design,
Yeah,
and
and now they've totally remodeled the hotel across the street where they used to be at, and it's super modern now and updated. So the whole area is just kind of growing, and it's
it
it's just going to
is
be better.
because Sharonville, me growing up, like I'd always like my parents we'd go to Sharonville every once in a while just to like stay. They had a hotel there. It was like a big, massive Holiday Inn, but it was called the Holidome.
Hmm.
And But like I started going to the convention, and my mom and dad are like, "Well, you be careful over there, because Sharonville's pretty rough." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever." I'm like 18 years old, so I go over there, and you mean even since I started going there, I mean that Sharonville has grown tremendous, like I said, tremendously again. But like it's a really nice area,
Mm-hmm.
and that hotel that I don't even know what it's had so many different owners, so many different names since I've been going. I mean, it's not had the best reputation, that's for sure, just because of
Yeah.
no. Like
I will say I miss it though. I miss the old hotel when the show was there and they used to have the VIP party in the water park. It was kind of fun.
they
Hey, hold
quit.
on. Can you hold on just one second? I gotta pee really bad.
I don't blame
I'm
you.
just gonna put it out there. I got it.
Okay.
Hold on.
Does Kurt Russell ever do conventions? I highly doubt it. I'll answer for him now. I really doubt Kurt does conventions. Um, it would be great if he did conventions, because I mean I've got stuff that he could sign, but I don't think he'll do conventions. Fingers crossed though. But at least we got Keith David. I mean Keith David's great. When Nature Calls. Ace Ventura? So, how's everybody enjoying the stream interview? I know everybody's here mostly for Sean. I get that because, he's got a fan base. Sean's a great guy. I just want to go ahead and say thanks, everybody, for sticking around and, watching and asking questions, even learning like I am. Hopefully he's quick break. He had to go to the bathroom. He had to go potty, which I kind of do too, but I don't feel like getting up because I'm sitting on a small stool.
I'm back.
How about those gas prices?
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. I was just kind of talking to everybody, just to keep the microphone on so we can hear my Sean P.
Let's see. I'm looking at some of these.
I answered one for you because I'm pretty sure it's a no.
Yeah, it's no. Let's see.
Unfortunately.
Somebody's asking about horror. I don't have anything to do with those shirts that they sell, but now I just opened my own thing on TeePublic, so you can buy Horror's Hog Ground stuff there. But I'm sure you'll get your shirt. I just don't know.
And thing with two heads now.
Yes, I think it got temporarily taken down. The thing with two heads, TeePublic shop. I don't know the story behind it yet, but I'm gonna look into that. I'm not sure what Chris said. Chris is the one who was managing that one, mm-hmm. So he hasn't told me what happened yet. But he said the shop was down, so I don't know what's up. I don't know what you mean by favorite horror hound page to host. I don't know what that means.
I mean, Sean was a writer. You were a writer with Horror Hound. I don't know what. I mean,
just the Horror's Hog Ground stuff, yeah. Really. I mean, do I think we'll get conventions back? Yeah, eventually. You missed me in Orlando? Oh, well, thank you. I'm supposed to be back there in October for Phantasm, which is going to be a bitchin' convention, big Halloween reunion. We're going to have some fun.
I'm excited for Horror Hound in September because it's going to be in Cincinnati.
Yep.
Frost. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen regardless, because I think Nathan's pretty much like, he's at the point now, it's like, okay, even if it's not like back to normal, we're still going to do it, because they Horror Hound's kind of struggling right now.
I don't know if they're struggling, but I mean, it obviously, it doesn't help to have your biggest source of income taken away.
Yeah, it's definitely been a big setback, but I've also heard a lot of cool things to come from Horror Hound, so I'm excited about that. I can't share that stuff. I'm sure you probably know about it.
I would be shocked if you knew what I knew, but I don't know what you.
Probably depends on the topic or what it is, because I probably can't share that here because
No. If it is what, if I'd be shocked if you knew that. It'd be something that happened in the last couple of days.
okay, then that's definitely not what it is then.
Okay. All right. I was gonna say I only think there's 3 people that know about it. So,
Tight with
um,
Nathan, not that tight.
but
We,
no, there's all kinds of really cool stuff coming from Horror Hound.
yeah,
Um, and let's just hope things get back to normal so we can get back to all those good things that are going to happen.
yeah, fingers crossed. I know we still got a long summer ahead of us, but fingers crossed that that time will tell, I guess.
Mm-hmm. My favorite horrors hallowed grounds is what you're referring to, I believe.
Place.
Place to find. It was like I said earlier, the Myers house. I think that was but there's a lot, man. There's so many. There's so many fun
I mean,
locations.
you
I
find
get.
any you're just like that you've never been to before, and you find it, and you're like, that's still. I mean, that's still a great find.
Now, yeah. As long as they still look similar,
Yeah.
you know, it can be
You have,
disappointing when they've changed a great deal. I
or
mean, even
not.
though I love going back to Monroeville Mall, there's a disappointment that settles in when you walk through there and you realize how different it is now. Um,
We we have a mall here. Well, not here, but in Cincinnati. It used to be a Hoppin' Mall, and literally there's like one store in it now, and it like I got a buddy I follow, and I haven't been there myself, but he's been there, and it has a very Monroeville Mall feel to it because it's pretty much abandoned,
yeah,
except like one store, and it's called Arcade Legacy, and it sells like
yep.
what's
I know the mall you're talking about.
yeah,
Huh.
it's got a Bass Pro right next to it.
Yeah, there's a couple of videos online people have done dead mall series on that mall where they go and they walk around in there. It's all abandoned.
But you can still go in there and like I said, there's I mean as long as there's still one store open in there, I mean they let you walk around it. That's which is cool.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's very creepy, especially like you know when it gets to be like nighttime and stuff. You're like, what kind of hooligans are going to come in here?
Yeah.
They,
Yeah, they still have security in there. They have a guy that walks around in there and tries to, keep people from screwing around. But
what are you gonna do? I gotta. My wife text messaged me a question mark. I'm like, what do you think I'm still doing? She goes, she goes over to her parents' house because they only live about 5 minutes from me. So we go over there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'm like, well, you're gonna be over there today. I'm gonna get this interview knocked out. I don't know how. I don't even know what time it is right now.
3:43 here. So what's that there? 6:43.
Something like that. So it's been
Yeah.
almost 2 hours. It's been
Yeah. Well, we didn't start till about 5:20 something, but
yeah, about
uh,
quarter after 20
yeah,
after. A
I
couple.
do need to jump off here just before 4 p.m. I have a phone call planned.
Gotcha.
So I
Well,
can go about another 10 minutes.
gotcha. Well, I think I'm about wrapped up anyway, just because I mean we've pretty much covered all the topics I wanted to go over. The horrors, hallowed grounds, of course. We didn't really touch on the thing with two heads a whole lot, but I mean we initially talked about where it came from, and
Hmm.
what here,
Yeah.
and then the convention Allstars, where that began and stuff like that. And I mean that's initially those were
That's
the
it. That's all I got, man.
all you got. We talked about your collection a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
We got initially we covered a little bit of everything, which is my goal. I hope I didn't annoy you too much.
No, not at all. Not at all. I appreciate you asking me to come on, and I had fun. And if anybody has a last second question, throw it in there real quick before I jump off here. But otherwise, new episode of Thing with Two Heads should be dropping Saturday at the latest, I think. I'm going to try for Friday, but it's probably going to Saturday seems more realistic.
Listen to what he says. He's got a
And,
new.
and you can find it on YouTube channel Malfunction. Malfunction.
what I'll do is once I post this, I'll leave a link to that YouTube page so they can go in, and if they don't already follow it or subscribe to it, they can go in there and find
They
it.
better have.
Yeah, they better.
And we will find you.
And
I have a special set of skills.
we'll rub some baby powder on you.
Yeah, I will find you. I will baby powder you. And I will caress you.
Say that with a straight face. Hey, Sean, hope to
Rolling.
See you.
Yeah. Yep. Hopefully we'll get back there eventually. I want to get back to Toronto specifically because there's a lot of location stuff I want to bang out in Toronto for episodes.
You said bang.
What?
You said bang in Toronto.
That's what I'm doing in Toronto. Gleam in the cube or pump up the volume? Probably not. You know what? There's another dude that's doing location stuff, like 80s Life or something it's called, and he just did Thrashing, and I was going to do Thrashing, and I guarantee you this guy is going to do Gleam in the Cube. I can just tell by what he seems to be into. But I still kind of want to do Thrashing because I was supposed to do it with Wrestler. So maybe I still will. But I got a feeling that guy will do Gleam in the Cube. Pump Up the Volume, my buddy Lawton would probably love me to do an episode of that, but I was never a big fan of that movie. I don't know why. But if I did a Gleam in the Cube episode, I'd have to bring my screen used skateboard from the film. Obviously would have to do that.
You gots to do it.
Gots to. All right, kids. Well, I'm going to sign off then.
Well, I thank you for coming by and answering some questions for me and your
My pleasure.
viewers. Thanks for meeting with me at long last. I'm glad we got to do this.
Favorite English actor? They keep sucking me in with questions. It was probably Malcolm McDowell, just because of Clockwork Orange. Although I don't like his more current stuff, but I was obsessed with him back in the 80s and 90s.
Clockwork Orange is a masterpiece.
But I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody much more important, but that's one that always pops in my head. All right. See you later, guys.
Quick, before somebody drags you in again.
All right. See you later.
Sir.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, that is about all the time I have for today. I thank Sean Clark for doing this interview with me. I thank everybody who stopped by to watch. Those who asked questions, thanks for participating. It was great. I want to thank Fright Rags for being a sponsor. If you're interested in anything, any shirts like this or a hat like this, then you'll want to go to Fright Rags. That is fright-rags.com and enter my code Rotten Report, capital all the way across, Rotten Report 10, and you'll get a 10% discount on your order. So if anybody's interested in Fright Rags apparel, there you go. And thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys sooner than later. And you guys have a great evening, and I'll see you all on the next video.